Welcome back, class. Tonight we're going to be taking a look at a new app on the iPad. It is called Hopscotch. So we're going to go ahead and click on the Hopscotch app. Hopscotch is an app to study coding and computer programming. It uses different animals and you can program them to do different things on the screen. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a new project. Go ahead and click on the green plus sign. First thing it's going to ask is which animal, which object would you like to use. We'll go with the cupcake here. We'll click on Start. Here is the interface for Hopscotch. Over on the left side you're going to see a lot of different blocks with different commands, but I actually want to start on the right, kind of the middle and right side. I'm going to scroll. Notice how I can scroll this up and down. I'm going to scroll all the way up. I can rename this cupcake whatever I want it to be. And then I can also choose its starting position. Keep in mind the dimensions of your iPad, 1020 by 768. Each of those numbers stands for the amount of pixels. 1020 meaning how many pixels from left to right. 768 is how many pixels from top to bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and start this character at 300 on the horizontal axis and 300 on the vertical axis. Alright, so that is the starting position. So the first thing underneath this are my commands. When the play button is tapped, referring to the play button over on the far right side of the screen. So when that play button is tapped, what do I want this cupcake to do? So over on the left side, I'm going to now refer over here, we have a lot of different blocks over here with a lot of different commands. These are all the different kinds of commands that we can do with this cupcake and have this cupcake complete different exercises. So I'm going to go back up to the top to some of the movement ones. Those are the ones you're probably going to use the most often. And I notice how it says move, rotate, change Y, change X. Those are all the different movements around the screen. When we want the cupcake to move left and right, we can use the change X. And by using positive and negative numbers, which I'm sure you learned about in math class, we can move this object horizontally. Likewise, the one that says change Y, we can help change the vertical movement of the cupcake itself. Rotate. So let's say we don't want to go completely horizontal or vertical, we want to go on a diagonal. We will use the rotate to rotate so many degrees, perhaps 45 degrees, 60 degrees. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out with some of the basic movements and stuff. And a lot of times you're going to want to be able to see how it's moving on the screen to leave a trail. So the first command we're going to give is actually under the drawing. There's one called move with trail. Okay? And then we are going to say, well, you know, we want the line, we want to be able to see the line, and we want to know how wide the line is that it's drawing. So we're going to change these. The line width, well, it says 2, meaning 2 pixels. That's going to be a very, very thin line. So let's go ahead and go with 10 pixels so we can see it really easy today. And then with the line color, if I click on that color, we can leave a line in many different colors. We'll go with orange. And then the first command says move with trail distance 300. Now because that 300 is a positive number, we know that we are going to move to the right. So right now I can go in and press the play button. And here's what I'm going to see. The cupcake moved 300 pixels to the right, leaving an orange trail behind. I'm going to go ahead and click the X to go back. We've tested our code. Now maybe we want to do some more things with it, such as I'm going to bring down a rotate. Now it says rotate degrees. So we'll say, well, let's rotate 45 degrees. Let's go ahead and test our code again. So he did the same movement, and now he turned that 45 degrees. So maybe we want to now add a few more. Well, let's move with trail, and we'll go 200 pixels. And then maybe we're going to rotate again, but this time, let's go with a negative number and see what happens. Just kind of experimenting here. And then we'll move one more time, and we'll go about 150 pixels. So we have a basic program here. We're doing a little movement, doing a little line color, doing a little rotating. Here we go. So he's moving. He rotated 45 degrees and continued moving, then rotated 25 degrees, negative 25 degrees, and then continued on his way. So these are the basic movements of hopscotch. Tomorrow in class, we will do some activities and try to attempt to draw some more objects. Have a good night.